Hey, what's up, guys? It's John Adams, and today I'm gonna be talking about what is it, Donald Trump's like cabinet or whatever that he has right now. I think he has a few members in his cabinet, and yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about his government for a little bit, and I guess something to talk about for a sec. Uh, so ever since like 2016, when he first kind of started, trying to run as president. Uh, Ever since then, he was elected now, and then earlier when he was president, there was the Jan 6 riot that happened and stuff, which was on January 6th and stuff like that. And then after that, so he has a so he I think he has a new cabinet now, and so some of the kind of prominent members, they're not prominent for a good reason, but they're like so you obviously have Donald Trump, and then you have JD Vance, and then you have you have Linda McMahon, you have uh you have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or yeah, I think that's his name. And then we've got and then we've got what's his name? And we have Pete Hegseth. We have Pete Hegseth. Uh and then so yeah, we have so yeah, the last one was yeah, Pete Hegseth. And then yeah, so we have like it was like those are the kind of main prominent ones. And then like they so we've got them, and then so Donald Trump obviously he's like a criminal, because of like the stuff that he's been doing, like because he tried to he said the election was rigged even though it wasn't, and then he got his supporters to attack the White House. Uh, and he's tried he also pardoned all of the people who did the January 6th like attack on the Capitol, and he pardoned everybody who did it and let them go, and he signed like an executive order to do that. And yeah, so and he has a long history of failing our intelligence agencies and letting information get to Russia as well, because there was a lot of problems with our like the intelligence in the U.S. because a lot of that was going to Russia and a lot of that information. And then we have J.D. Vance. He's kind of just I don't know. He's just like he's kind of dumb and like he's kind of an idiot. And there was like an interview with him and Zelensky a while back where he just kept on like being stupid, and like it was just really goofy to watch. I don't know. And like he kept on demanding that Zelensky beg for weapons, uh, like for Ukraine or whatever. And yeah, and diplomatically, like yeah, like so there's like Russia and Ukraine, like the war that's been going on for like a few years. He's trying to say he can end it, but he just wants to talk with Putin mostly, and that's not going to solve anything. Like, and again, he's not going to go hard on Putin to demand that he stop, and he's also not going to demand Ukraine's sovereignty because he's more about theatrics than actually running a government. And anybody can see that. And the democratic people and people who could have or were in power earlier could have not allowed him to take over or even assume the presidency. But I know there was more Republicans in the Senate and stuff. I know that, but they still allowed him to take power for some reason. And it's really weird because like ever since he's been in the public spotlight, he's done so much dumb stuff. And then so yeah, and then JD Vance, he's kind of just like he has like I think he has like an Indian wife or something, but he's like racist or something. He says a bunch of stupid stuff and believes in conspiracy theories. I think all the people I'm talking about kind of do. I mean, I don't know. Like yeah, most of them. And then we've got him who's the vice president. And yeah, so he's our vice. Like, he well not ours. He's the U.S.'s vice president. So we've got those two, and so the third one is Linda McMahon. She's I think uh she's like the president of the WWE with her husband or something, like Vincent McMahon. And Vincent McMahon was actually found guilty of some like I can't really say it on YouTube, but like a certain type of assault charge, or well, no, not assault, no. But it was like he did some weird acts with I think a woman he was texting or something, some woman. And yeah, And she's like, I think part of the education board, but I don't think that somebody who's related to, who's like the husband of him should be even. And they had a huge age gap. Like Vincent McMahon, I think he's like really old now. Actually, he's like super old. And the woman, she was like way younger than him or something. And yeah, that's really weird. Like what? Like why should she be educating anybody? Like I don't know. But she's not really done anything. She's not really a conspiracy theorist, but she's kind of still weird. So I'm gonna mention her, and the like because I'm gonna mention like what her husband did. And we've got Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is like he's he's like he wants to exclude women from the army from what I've heard, which is kind of dumb. I don't know, it's kind of stupid. Because I think that honestly everybody thinks that after and anyways after like a woman like if she has kids why should she not be able to join the army. And it's not whether a woman has kids or not, it doesn't really matter. Like I think uh like if they do, if they don't, if they've already had kids anyways, then what's the problem? Why can't they join the army? It kind of seems goofy, honestly. I kind of find, especially in that, or whatever. But yeah, and then we've got, I think the last one is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's a big conspiracy theorist, and he's like an anti-vaxxer, and he believes that vaccines cause autism. And I think he was talking about this like a long time ago, and during COVID he was saying a bunch of stuff. And he's like part of like products and stuff, so he's going to monitor like products, like certain like foods and stuff, and like ban them. But most are unhealthy. Most junk food is called junk food for a reason, like chips and stuff. And so he's going to you know try to kind of attack those companies and stuff. But like it's like weird. Like why are you gonna attack the companies? Couldn't you come to something better? Like maybe just and again he's gonna like check products and like check like vaccines. But what vaccines is he gonna create? Like what? Like what? And yeah, he believes like vaccines cause autism and stuff. And their solution to like Russia and Ukraine, they've been sitting on it and haven't done a single thing. There's a lot of like lives being lost in that war, and Russia was the aggressor of the war, not Ukraine. And their soldiers are being killed and stuff, and like, but Ukraine has to use what they need to use. And again, a lot of people will say like Ukraine is the aggressor, which again is untrue. Like the Russians have done a lot of atrocities. They actually bound a lot of people in like this one village in Ukraine, and they executed those people uh viciously, and stuff like that. And people will say that Ukraine's the aggressor, even though Russia has a lot of like fascist groups and stuff, and they are very prominent about their fascist support in that country. And yeah, and their army is losing the war. They will still try attacks and stuff, so the war's still going on. And then they're going to try and maybe like demand that we have sympathy for them. But like, I mean, it kind of sucks that their soldiers are dying, that they're being sent in waves to die. It is bad, but it's the failure of other governments to step in and do anything about it, and that's the problem, you know. And then so we've got Gaza, which is like Gaza Strip and the stuff that's going on there. Uh, where and the U.S. also, they're saying they want to invade the Gaza Strip and remove the Palestinians from the country and give it all to Israel, like Zionist Israel, which again is wrong because the Palestinians have lived there for a long time, and they've lived there for a very long time, and this historic land, and again and a lot of attempts that were made to kind of mitigate the and actually work on a two-state solution for Palestine and Israel have failed, you know, uh, because of a lot of our leaders like Bush and them, and a lot of them like and Obama, and like a lot of them, like they have said that they will fix the problem, but they've never fixed it. They leave the country in tatters, and that's why the war, like that's why the October 7th stuff happened, and that's because and Hamas is a terrorist group, but they're mainly made up of Palestinians, and they want to defend their land. A lot of them are do like I'm not saying they're good, but a lot of people in Palestine would join them to defend their country from Israel because they're being airstriked. And I'm not saying that Hamas is good. I don't agree with Hamas, nor do I agree with Zionist Israel and the stuff they've been doing. And yeah, and I think like what the U.S. wants to do, they want to remove the people from the country. They want to remove the Palestinians from uh, Palestine, and that's not going to solve the problem. And like they think that will, and turning it into some resort, but again, that's only going to make the problem worse. Like I think like what a solution that would I thought of, and everybody could probably knows, probably like what they could easily do is split the country in the middle, like right in the middle, and then if Israel wants their holy site, put it on their side, and then and who cares? Like they demand that it not be removed, but who cares? You can still worship it. It's like just move it, you know. And then Al-Aqsa, which is the mosque that Palestinians go to they pray to and stuff. You know, they should be allowed access to that mosque, and the Israeli, the Zionist government there should not be impeding them to not allow them to go there. And because that's their mosque and they're allowed to go pray there. That's their mosque. You know, and there's a lot of like women that I've seen, like Israeli Zionist women, like, and I mean hardliners, like in that country, and they say that they want to demolish the Palestinians to kill them, and it's goofy stuff. Like they've set up hospitals, and then these hospitals were being airstriked, which I think is very childish of a country. Like it's very stupid to do, and people defending these countries are very like people defending Zionist Israel are very dumb, and it's very stupid to see because they airstrike literal hospitals, and there's evidence of it, and it's like these are wounded people who they're not fighting. Like what? Like Hamas is somewhere else, yes, but they're in like, but just constantly saying that like Hamas is under these hospitals and other places, it's very dumb, and that's my opinion on it, you know. And yeah, and I think that like both these wars, the U.S. has failed in them, right? The U.S. has failed to stop the Ukraine war, so it calls on you know other countries to do that, like other countries near Ukraine, they're going to defend Ukraine instead because the U.S. isn't going to help them, or us, or will help them. Uh, you know, and yeah. And then also like Trump, again, he was friends with Epstein. Everybody knows this as well. And and there's like files like the Epstein files or whatever, and apparently they were destroyed, or like, and they released like a video that was edited and stuff, which is what Trump's government did. And they also gutted the security agencies and replaced them with you know um uh like MAGA loyalists and stuff, so that they could change the FBI and the CIA and stuff. And yeah, and it's really goofy to see, like, because these conflicts could be resolved easily if our leaders were not weak. And I think that's the main problem, is that they don't want to come out and talk about stuff like genocide, and say that it's bad, because they lose. But it seems very backwards in my opinion, because like they think that they're losing their reputation. They just want to hold on to anything that they can, and that's kind of just how they act. But a real leader should not be a cowering leader, because that's not a leader. That's not somebody that we look up to as a country. Like a lot of, and it's very bad to see. Like for instance, like I don't like personally, like Mark Carney, like I don't like, he's just a bank owner from what I've heard. He's just like I don't know, I heard, and I just heard like a lot of like, and a lot of our leaders say things like Macron, he's just like a French dictator, to be honest, and he like and I find it dumb that a lot of our leaders, instead of speaking out about this or saying a single thing, they keep their mouths shut and just be quiet. And again, people say, oh, that's all the way in some other country, and it's not your problem to worry about. I'm not saying I'm worrying about it. I just find it very dumb that like no country is saying anything about this and stuff. Like there was stuff like Africa, like some African countries were trying to set up a tribunal, and then the U.S. vetoed that. Uh, you know, them like talk, and then yeah, and there's a warrant on Benjamin Netanyahu's head, you know. And anyways, I think like yeah, and then China's been doing some bad stuff as well, but yeah, I'm kind of getting carried away here though. But like yeah, the U.S. has failed in like two diplomatic situations so far, like Ukraine and Gaza, and like yeah. And I think, and like the U.S. is like, I think the U.S.'s leaders for a long time have failed though, like that, like Gaza, especially that country. Like they could easily split the country up into two control areas. And the thing is, there's like settlers in Israel who are settling in Palestinian land and constantly pushing them out, and like say like here's the Palestinians and here's the settlers. They go into the areas in like the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, and they move in and set up homes, and then they kick out the Palestinians and push them out. And the police in Israel are like they allow the settlers to do that, and the government also allows the settlers to do that. And yeah, and the U.S. also supporting Israel is just extremely stupid. Like you know, it's I find it funny that a lot of countries claim to be democracies when they're not democracies. And this is not like I'm kind of mixing stuff up here. It's like, but yeah, his cabinet is just really dumb to be honest. And it's just like a lot of the people in their cabinet, like Pete Hegseth, he like I think he also inappropriately assaulted a woman when she was intoxicated, from what I heard as well. And that was yeah, Pete Hegseth did that, and again yeah, and he was allowed to be uh and he's allowed to be in the government now and stuff, but like he's even weird, and they're just really weird. And Trump has never like, and again he's just constantly alienating like a lot of his like MAGA like supporters, and he's already been doing it ever since like one woman didn't want to be pardoned, I think, for like the Jan 6 thing, from what I heard. And yeah, I mean, maybe he has like kind of a young supporter base a bit, but like I think anybody who supports you, young or old, it's really just stupid. Like like a lot of people are supporting him, and it's just really goofy because his government has failed on multiple levels. Him as a person, he has failed on multiple levels. So yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye. And I hope you enjoyed the video, or I hope you liked the video.